On the streets of Naples, the stakes are high and the cops are jumpy. This is Italy's most dangerous city, and with violent crime spiralling upwards, Naples is heaving under the strain. Law enforcement agencies are being overwhelmed, unable to stop the advance of Italy's most powerful and violent mafia-style clan, the Camorra. The battle to contain the Camorra is decades old, but recently its body count has soared.
La violenza e la commissione di omicidi sono dei fenomeni fisiologici alla vita e all'esistenza delle organizzazioni criminali che hanno necessità di sparare.
In the face of this formidable threat, Italy's government remains hamstrung by apathy and inaction, leaving its battle-weary mafia prosecutors feeling abandoned.
Ma innanzitutto la magistratura ha bisogno di sentire il governo dalla propria parte e questo purtroppo in Italia non lo avverte in questo momento.
It's early evening in Castelvolturno, just to the north of Naples, a once sleepy family resort town that's been transformed into a deadly playground for the Camorra's killers. I'm here to meet a woman who spent most of her career trying to nail the Camorra's henchmen. A member of Italy's peak anti-mafia body, the DIA, Silvana has closely tracked the killing spree, which began with the murder of a local businessman last May.
Proprio qui venne ucciso, lui si fermò in questa cartoleria a comprare un giornale e fu ucciso in mezzo alla strada, a questo posto qua.
As the death toll has grown, Silvana Giusti's informers have picked up on a dangerous new development, uncovering evidence that the region's numerous and fiercely independent Camorra clans have started combining their efforts.
In particolare, lungo la linea di confine tra le due province, tra le due città di Caserta e Napoli, ci sono dei gruppi camorristici che si sono addirittura scambiati dei killers, si sono scambiati degli uomini per delle azioni omicidiarie.
In just a few months, the Camorra murdered almost a dozen people. But no one was prepared for its next atrocity.
You can see the bullet. You can see that the right RIP. It means rest in perfect peace. It is very brutal, this thing. They just make all totally 145 bullets in 45 seconds. And 6 died.
It was a machine gun?
It was machine gun.
6 young black men, all poor African migrants, were machine-gunned by a Camorra hit squad as they stood outside a tailor's shop in Castelvolturno.
Con un'azione di fuoco da parte di un comando composto da killers della Camorra, guidati da Setola Giuseppe. Questo è il negozio all'interno del quale si trovavano quei poveri ragazzi.
Silvana says a small group of Africans in Castelvolturno were defiantly selling drugs on Camorra turf, but rather than target the offending dealers, the clans decided to inflict a collective punishment on the entire African community, choosing the victims at random simply because they were black.
Arrivarono con delle macchine, immediatamente cominciarono a sparare e quindi furono uccisi queste persone che poco o niente avevano a che fare con il mondo della droga e dei traffici di sostanze stupefacenti.
Now the massacre has reignited an uncomfortable debate over Italy's treatment of its exploding population of undocumented black migrants, thrusting this obscure coastal town into the spotlight.
Buongiorno. Documenti.
To gauge the depth of the drug problem in Castelvolturno, I've joined local law enforcement authorities on a routine inspection of the town's drug dens.
Togli il turbino. Svuota, tasca, svuota.
The officers have come to a place locals call the Drug Hotel, an abandoned holiday complex which now serves as the base for the town's addicts.
Le tasche, c'è stanchezza, svuota.
Guarda questo si spicca il volo.
Cheap and widely available, heroin is the drug of choice.
Ma che c'è stata bene, no? Sì.
Non ce l'ho i documenti qua, qua.
Chi ci sta sotto la tenda?
Nessuno.
Today, with the exception of a pregnant Italian woman hiding in a corner, all the drug users here are Africans. And according to officials, they're part of a tidal wave of undocumented migrants who've settled here, many of them from Nigeria.
It's very serious here in this town. Before it was only Italians. Now there's a lot of black people. It's hard to work over here because these black people we don't understand when they talk, they speak, because they're Nigerian.
With their resources already stretched to the limit, the authorities here are barely coping with Castelvolturno's burgeoning population of black migrants in a town awash with Camorra-supplied drugs.
99% the Camorra has the control of the drugs over here.
This is really a serious problem for Italy, isn't it, this type of thing?
Yeah, the Camorra commanders. They say what you have to do. If you don't want to do what they say, they'll kill you.
Incredibly, in the face of the Camorra's brutal domination, some African gangs are forging their own drug trade, with a handful of Nigerian crime syndicates transforming Castelvolturno into one of the biggest trafficking hubs in Europe.
Castelvolturno per i nigeriani, dopo la loro capitale, è il punto strategico più importante per quanto riguarda la comunità nigeriana e l'organizzazione di traffici internazionali. Sono organizzati su Castelvolturno come delle grosse organizzazioni criminali, quindi c'è organizzazione, ci sono contatti internazionali, contatti specialmente con i paesi del Sud America, da dove viene presa la cocaina.
In fact, Italian police intelligence reports indicate these brazen Nigerian syndicates aren't just sidelining the Camorra. They've even cut Colombia's drug barons out of their deals, buying cocaine direct from the South American growers.
Noi abbiamo avuto indagini attraverso le quali abbiamo visto che i nigeriani comprano direttamente dal contadino che produce la coca.
But while African gangs gain influence, triggering the Camorra's backlash, Castelvolturno's poor black migrants have been trapped in the crossfire.
This boy, okay, this boy, they have killed him here. They have killed him here. This steps.
Here, on the steps?
Yeah, on the steps.
For community leaders like Peter, the murder of the 6 Africans signalled a dangerous turning point.
I'm angry because this is the first in history in European Union. 45 seconds, 145 bullets, 6 souls have been killed. And that 6 souls is not the Europeans. They are Africans. Why? That's why we ask the Italian authority, why?
In late December, members of Castelvolturno's African community gathered at the murder scene to remember the victims and make a statement. Although several months had passed, their grief was raw and their fear tangible.
Are people afraid here? Are black people afraid here?
Yes. All people are afraid. Everybody is afraid for here. Everybody.
And with a massacre that was so clearly racially motivated, there was a real sense of community anger.
It's a racist crime, and it must stop.
They are not criminals.
Immigrants, they are not criminals. We are here to work. We didn't travel from Africa, come and to be killed.
What's partly fueling the anger in this community is the lack of any real sense of national outrage about the murders.
This problem will never end here.
For a community on the bottom rung of Italy's social ladder, the perception that most Italians simply don't care about what's happening here is a bitter pill to swallow.
White and black, all we are the same thing. Blood, we are the same thing.
We are all the same.
But they don't care what we feel here because we saw our brothers lying down dead.
Ma sicuramente c'è stata anche una componente razzistica in questa strage efferata, che però, ripeto, non è la prima volta che viene consumata contro cittadini extracomunitari di provenienza nordafricana.
Veteran mafia prosecutor Franco Roberti sympathises with Castelvolturno's Africans about the absence of any national outrage over the massacre. And he's deeply concerned about the widening social ramifications of the Camorra's violent upsurge.
Purtroppo i fenomeni stragistici non sono nuovi alla storia della Camorra e a volte è la memoria che viene meno di questi fatti, e questo è anche molto grave.
Now, in an unprecedented move, the Italian army has been mobilised to help contain the Camorra's growing threat. In the regions surrounding Naples, soldiers man roadblocks conducting random searches around the clock, like this unit near the city of Caserta, a Camorra stronghold that's home to its most powerful and vicious clan. But in real terms, it's achieved little, neither thwarting the Camorra's fierce growth nor its special capacity for engineering corruption at all levels of government.
Rispetto ad altri tipi di delinquenza organizzata, quella casertana è molto più incisiva e tende ad entrare nei tessuti connettivi delle istituzioni in modo tale da avere un governo delle istituzioni, governo dei centri locali, governo dei comuni, delle province, delle regioni.
From a ramshackle office adorned with Hollywood cop action heroes, members of the Naples police unit, known as the Falcon Squad, get ready for another night on the city's mean streets. Tonight, they're pursuing a tip-off about one of the Camorra's less dramatic but still highly lucrative trades, cigarette smuggling. But in Naples' poor inner-city communities, there's rarely a warm welcome when the police come knocking. Within minutes, the tip-off yields results. Hundreds of cartons of cigarettes concealed in a pantry. And the cops suspect there might be more contraband at hand. Soon, dozens of other boxes are discovered containing what appear to be stolen goods. But the woman who lives here with her children is unrepentant, trying to convince the police to turn a blind eye.
Ragazzi, lo voglio bene, rimaniamo qualcosa. Ragazzi, non so che tutto questo, lo voglio bene, non sono io che mi... Lo voglio bene. Lo voglio bene. Lo voglio bene, abitati.
The woman and her son are arrested and charged, and their booty confiscated. Activities like this are at the bottom end of the Camorra's criminal enterprise, but the police leap at any opportunity to curtail its growth. Depressingly, however, these cops also believe that the law is not behind them.
Oggi in Italia, sostanzialmente, secondo me, il risultato finale delle indagini, quindi sarebbe una sentenza di condanna e una pena che viene data a un delinquente, non è proporzionato alla gravità dei fatti che vengono commessi.
To illustrate his point, Naples anti-crime chief Vittorio Pisani says nearly 50 clan members arrested 4 years ago and charged with mafia conspiracy were able, through plea bargaining and court concessions, to gain their freedom in record time.
Allora non è possibile che dei camorristi che hanno comunque fatto parte di una banda criminale, che ha commesso tanti omicidi, che ha attirato l'attenzione di tutto il mondo, dopo 3 anni erano di nuovo liberi. Ma ci vuole anzitutto un'azione giudiziaria efficace e molto dura, cosa che attualmente non avviene, e ci vuole poi anche un'azione di recupero sociale ed economico di determinati territori, cosa che attualmente non avviene.
As the state continues to disregard the plight of Italy's poorest communities, many of them in the Camorra's heartlands, a few brave souls are agitating for change at great personal risk.
Ci siamo impegnati nel semiconvinto. No? Quindi dalla riflessione in poi fino alle 6 con attività di calcio, informatica, teatro, e ragazzi soprattutto a rischio, e ragazzi con papà camorristi in carcere, e qui abbiamo ragazzi che hanno avuto i papà uccisi per Camorra.
Father Agnello Manganiello works in the concrete jungle of Scampia on the outskirts of Naples. As Camorra territory, it is without a doubt one of the toughest parishes in Europe.
Genitori di ragazzini del catechismo che vengono, come devo dire, avvicinati dai camorristi perché li vedono in difficoltà economica e gli propongono di fare i corrieri della droga, di tenere la droga in casa. Questo con compensi altissimi, anche di 5.000, 10.000 euro.
Late last year, Father Agnello felt compelled to make a public stand against the Camorra, choosing to denounce the clan on national television.
Noi stiamo qua,
Buongiorno, ciao a te.
Within hours of the broadcast, the Camorra's messengers confronted the priest, warning him to shut up or face certain death.
La gente non deve parlare, cioè non si deve dire quello che la Camorra fa.
Father Agnello knew he was lucky to be left alive, but what shocked him was the attitude of his local parishioners who shunned the priest. He now believes there's little chance of breaking the clan's evil grip over the community.
Questo veramente mi ha fatto veramente male. Quello che mi fa più paura è l'omertà della gente, la suefazione della gente. Questi fattori, portano la gente a non parlare. Poi, non si sentono tutelati dalle forze dell'ordine. Sono convinti che non c'è certezza di pena, la gente è convinta di questo, ma ne sono convinto anche io. Tutte queste cose mi fanno sentire la solitudine, mi fanno sperimentare la solitudine.
Naples, with its ancient laneways and narrow, winding streets, the Camorra have an ability to melt away when trouble arrives. The local cops have also developed some special skills. I've joined the Naples Falcon Squad again, this time on the back of a motorcycle, as they speed through the Camorra's cobbled stamping ground on the lookout for trouble. With an element of surprise and their prowess on the bikes, the Falcon Squad has notched up an impressive arrest record to match. But with a legal system that seems to favour the criminals, the police feel their efforts are being squandered.
Non è pensabile che uno scippatore che noi abbiamo arrestato l'altro giorno, che ha fatto un'ennesima rapina, è stato condannato a 1 anno e 6 mesi con la sospensione condizionale della pena ed è ritornato a casa. Noi ci troviamo, dopo 3 anni, a fare le indagini sulle stesse persone che abbiamo indagato 5 anni fa.
Unable to stop the Camorra's relentless sprawl, battle-weary crime fighters say that if Italians persist in looking the other way, its mafia clans will continue to flourish.
Perché bisogna anche considerare che la criminalità organizzata si alimenta e si rafforza nel silenzio, nell'omertà e nell'oblio.
At the same time, veterans of the campaign to crush the Camorra, like Franco Roberti, remain confident that if the community breaks the code of silence and rejects its criminal ethos, the clan's reign of terror will quickly come to an end.
E come tutti i fenomeni umani hanno avuto un inizio e avranno anche una loro fine. Sta a noi, a tutti noi, ciascuno per la propria parte, di accelerare questo processo di fine e di distruzione della Camorra.